Well, I guess part of being a better activist means I get to work out a lot less. So it's just one of the sacrifices. But when I went to Iraq, and I got to give this background because I think it's kind of important in this context. I actually volunteered to go. I was in a reserve artillery unit. I knew we weren't going, and in December of 2003, I went out of my way to volunteer to go to Iraq. And I thought that what we were doing at that point was cleaning up our mess and was responsible foreign policy and rebuilding the country. And I think along with most of America, I fell for that bullshit at that point. And unlike a lot of Republicans that I met at the College Republican National Convention this past weekend, I was actually willing to stand up and put my life on the line for that and be a part of that effort. And I volunteered to go with the Civil Affairs unit, and my 2-week crash course, I got a 2-week crash course on civil affairs, supposed to be like the most, the smartest guys out there and the most culturally aware and everything. And I think they took me because I was a psychology major at the time. And I found out that what we were going to be doing was rebuilding the country. We were going to be working with schools and mosques and clinics and the Iraqi people every day. And it was exactly what Bush was saying we were going to be doing on TV. And I was like, God damn, we are going to be the tip of the spear. We are going to be the heroes here. We are going to be all about it. We are going to be leading the charge, rebuilding Iraq. And now we were 6-man civil affairs teams attached to battalions or regiments. And you couldn't go anywhere without 6 vehicles, 6 Humvees with machine guns where I was in the Fallujah area. So we had to beg. We had to beg these infantry commanders to let us go on their patrols with them to get out and do our missions. And we found ourselves constantly justifying our existence to them. And we actually came up with a slogan. And it was, "We care so that you don't have to." And I'm not joking. It was a joke for us. But in retrospect now, it's really not that funny to think that of all the money that's going into the occupation of Iraq right now, they're tacking on this fig leaf called civil affairs, who are the ones that care, so that the infantry commanders, so that the Joint Chiefs of Staff, so that Congress and the President don't have to give a fuck about anything else that happens in Iraq. Because if we're there and we're caring, then they don't have to. But that's the reality of it. I don't think I have to tell this group that. I think y'all can see that much. But about the campaign that we're starting today, funding the war is killing the troops. What we're really trying to do is shift the debate and change the terms of it and reframe it in a way that reflects our perspective and what we see as the truth about what's going on with the situation in Iraq and the political situation that leads to that. But it's such a stupid, blatantly obvious phrase. I'm almost embarrassed to have to say it. I'm embarrassed at the state of politics in America that it's come to that. We have to talk to Congress like they're fucking children.
Yeah, it's painful.
What's the president's approval rating right now? Does anybody know today or recently? 26? High? 26 up or down? Down? 16? No, it's not that low. 25? Okay, we'll trust the guy in the suit. All right. What's Congress's approval rating in the United States right now? 14. 14.
It was 19 before the election.
What do you think President Bush's approval rating in Iraq is? So what do you think Congress's approval rating in Iraq is? I don't know, it's not enough anymore that this war is fueling an insurgency, that our presence is making people hate America more than ever before, that Bush has allowed himself to become, and the United States Army to become, the greatest recruiting tool that Al-Qaeda could ever dream of. It's not enough that our money is going nowhere in Iraq, except to friends of this administration and a whole variety of corporate interests. But as I said earlier, I took an oath to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I didn't swear an oath to defend the Constitution of Iraq, and I didn't swear an oath to defend American corporate interests in Iraq. But that's what the troops are being used for, and we can't support them in defending the nation when they're being sent halfway across the world to occupy a country that no longer represents a threat except because we're there. So for that personally, I'm very offended. I'm sorry, I just get so frustrating sometimes, you know. You come out here and we have to resort to this. We have to resort to saying funding the war is killing the troops. I mean, if you really think about it, it's really, really blatantly obvious. And it's really stupid that we have to say this. But we do. We have to get down to basics. We have to break it down Barney style, as we say. And I just want to say thanks for everybody for coming out and supporting us in this effort.